Boko Halal was the product of so many things, most especially our commitment to where we operate in Nigeria. It started out from our concern for the vulnerable at the beginning rather of the Boko Haram, crisis in Nigeria. We thought as an entity, Noah's Ark as an entity, we needed to contribute more to society. And we came up with an idea which was focused on the opposite of Boko Haram, which was the idea of Boko Halal. And we came up with an ad that ran in the national, well, we intended for it to run in the national newspaper. Almost all the dailies would not run that ad, except for one bold one. That was This Day that chose to run the ad. And that signaled the beginning of our Boko Halal thing to say, look, inspired by Wole Soyinka, who said the more they say Boko Haram, the more we need to say, Boko Halal to drown that noise of negativity. We set about, informally and later formalizing it, setting up the Boko Halal foundation, so to say, which of course the authorities could not register Boko Halal because anything Boko will raise a red flag. That was what led to the idea of the Young African Bookworms as we have it today. Yep.
Hi, my name is Lola James, and I'm the Programs Manager of the Young African Bookworms Initiative. The Young African Bookworms is a non-profit that was formally established in November 2015 after about 2 years of working informally from 2013. The non-profit started off when a bunch of creatives were watching TV and they heard Professor Wole Soyinka talk about the fact that Nigeria as a country should use the concept of Boko Halal, which means education is virtuous, to counteract the communication of Boko Haram, which means education is forbidden. And over the years, 8 years now, it has culminated into a non-profit that works not just in Lagos, Nigeria, where the office is formally established, but then also in the northern part of the country, where about 20 million children, as we speak 2023, are out of school in Nigeria. We run 3 programs all year round. The first one is Tech for Every Gen Alpha, which we call TIGA. TIGA is our intention to ensure that children at the base of the pyramid have access to digital understanding. The second one is what we call the DARE program, Drop Everything and Read, which we run in about 11 schools across Nigeria. The intention of the DARE program is to ensure that children develop the reading culture. Children have the opportunity to have access to books and resources that will give them a chance for quality education. The third program we run as Young African Bookworms is the Paragon Train Club, and it's very close to my heart because the Paragon Train Club is a chance to teach children social emotional skills. We are well aware that children at the base of the pyramid don't have an opportunity to understand skills like empathy, skills like compassion, skills like kindness, right? So for us as the Young African Bookworms, the intention of the non-profit is to make sure that these children understand what compassion means. One of the amazing things about the Young African Bookworms is the fact that our vision is to develop the social, emotional, and the mental capability of the African child. Because we understand that education is not just necessarily you knowing how to read and write. Education is the fact that you are able to critically reason, you are able to know how to choose between right and right. Most of the time, it's easy for us as individuals to choose between right and wrong. We know what right is, we know wrong is. But sometimes you have 2 right things and then you have to look for which of those 2 right things are the best.
Yeah, my name is Osage Enhomfor, and I work as the Programs Officer and Communications Lead at the Young African Bookworms Initiative. Working with the Young African Bookworms has been remarkable. It's a joy to see that we can make a real difference in the lives of the children we serve. And over the past months, it's been interesting to see that how the little things we do can make big impact in the lives of people. And for me, that has been defining.
In the last 8 years as a non-profit, we have donated about 2,600 books to children in 8 states across the country. We have established the Paragon Train Club program, which is the social emotional learning program in 5 low-income schools, so about 200 children benefited from the program last year. Right now, we're taking the second set of 200 children, which means about 400 children in the last 2 years have benefited from the Paragon Training Club. The TEGA program, which is one of our latest and most interesting programs, is our opportunity to reach out to children, especially in the northern part of the country. The most amazing thing about the TEGA program is that we have been funded by an international organization called What Connect. What Connect believed in our vision. What Connect connected with what Young Bookworms wants to do. What Connect connected with the fact that we are reaching out to the children who are really at the base of the pyramid, where sometimes we go to marginalized communities, we go on water, we go on boats, you know, essentially roll our slaves and go to the places where nobody else is going to.
My name is Tarina Atta. I work as the Programs Coordinator and Admin Lead for the Young African Bookworms. And working with them for the past months has been an amazing journey for me personally. Working with the Agala community, that's the children in the Agala community, I never knew that community ever existed till I got to start working with the Young African Bookworms. And the Agala community are indigenous of the Takwa Bay community that were evicted in the year 2019. Going to that community for the first time, I could feel the pain of what these people are going through. There's no light in that community, there's no drinkable water, and you will see the kids excited to learn after we set up the learning resource library.
I mean, just being there, seeing them, these are people who are cut away, so to say, from modernity as we know it. The fact that somebody can open books and read, I know what books can mean to children. I know what books meant to me growing up in terms of opening your eyes to a different world entirely. And I think to me, working with our partners, being able to do that, it means more to me than whatever else you want to write about yourself in the papers or on TV. It is the impact on that individual, because you don't really know how far that person can go. You're giving hope to them. And I think to me, it's that hope that really makes a big difference here.
In the future, one of our visions as a young Bookworms is to be that non-profit that businesses want to align with in terms of their social impact strategy. Our intention is that when companies want to choose that non-profit that helps them achieve their own bottom line in terms of social impact, the Young Bookworms should be the non-profit for them to choose. For our TEGA program, the Tech for Every Gen Alpha in the northern part of the country, we run in Gialisu community. We also run the second one in Badara community, where we bring our Majiris and our Majiras together. They're able to sit down in front of a computer and understand how to use a computer, and they're able to understand how a computer can help them fulfill whatever their long-term goals are.
Well, I mean, the main challenge I will see is it's got to do with funding to a large degree. There's a whole lot we would love to do. We would love to touch more people, especially because we were inspired by the situation in the north. I don't think we've done enough in the north, even though we've been able to, record some 1 or 2 milestones in the north.
Right now in Badara community in Kaduna, we have 50 children, 25 boys and 25 girls who are part of our TEGA program. In Gialisu, we have 15 girls and we have 24 boys who are part of our program as well. We are hoping to expand this program. As we speak, UNESCO has it that Nigeria has the highest number of out-of-school children in the world. So we have about 20 million children who are out of school in Nigeria. So what that means is that there's still a chance for us to do really well.
So the opportunities are immense, if you ask me. Opportunities to use what we know as brand builders to also build into the Bookworm, a brand that can actually be more meaningful and go beyond Nigeria, go across Africa and be reckoned with outside of here. That to me is where the opportunity is. In today's world, there are no limitations. Who knows, we had a pandemic, at some point, and that was a big challenge for some of our activities. I remember very well. Everybody keeps saying, the experts are saying that, there might be another one down the line. And I'm hoping that by that time, or we don't pray for one, but should the need arise, I would like for us to be in the forefront of those, speaking up for the children and doing stuff for them?
There are 4 major things that make us unique and successful as a non-profit. First, we pilot our programs. We make sure that we put one foot in first before we put in all of our body, essentially, right? So we start small, measure our progress, and then before we scale. The second thing we do as a non-profit that makes us succeed is the fact that we work along with volunteers.
Hi, my name is Jesu Joba Bookworms. I work in advertising as a copywriter. Then I volunteer with the Young Bookworms.
Our volunteers are super amazing. Our volunteers are super committed, They all want to make a difference. They all have their full-time jobs. They all have their various skills, whether they're in IT, they're in HR, they are creatives, they are writers, they are artists. They want to be able to bring their skills and use that to contribute to the goal of the non-profit. That's the second thing. The third thing I believe makes us successful as a non-profit is the fact that we always closely monitor and measure the impact of what we are doing, right? So that we are continuously improving. So we're iteratively planning the way we do our work, right? So that we go from what is happening at baseline, how our intervention made a difference, how much difference our intervention made, and how much more difference we can make if we only had a few minutes of currency.
I mean, it's a beautiful thing to see the work, the ideas we put come to life in programs that we do. And for me, that has been the climax working with Young Bookworms.
The fourth one is having really amazing and committed board members who are very intentional about the fact that every child, irrespective of where they are born, who they are born to, what their religion is, what faith they practice, what tribe they belong to, what language they speak, have access to education. It's amazing when your board pushes you, when they make you go beyond your comfort zone to say, let's look at what data is saying. Let's look at what's happening in the north. The north is where the challenge is. Let's plunge into the north and let's make a difference in their lives. That's why we're amazing. That's why the Young Bookworms is different, and that's why we know that more support, more individuals coming on board, we definitely will do better, we'll succeed, we'll scale our programs, and we definitely will affect more lives. Thank you.
It's amazing and almost unbelievable that it's been 10 years of doing this. So I'd like to say big kudos to Lola and the team for keeping this going. Under very tough challenges sometimes, but the fact that it is never any problem for you to get on the boat and go out there and get it done and get volunteers. And so a big shout out to you and all the volunteers from within here and all our donors. And as to the next 10 years and more decades to come.